This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC Vegas 50 and Bellator 276. Good cards, both on Saturday. We're going to go through the pure betting side of each of them. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and share the video as well. We'll go through locks, dogs, props, and parlays for both of these cards. Let's start it off first with the locks. We're going to go through UFC and Bellator locks here. There's a fair amount that I'm feeling for this weekend. We'll start with lock number one. It is for the UFC. I think it's kind of self-explanatory. It is Magomed Ankalaev, who is a massive favorite in that main event. Best value you'll find him is around minus 350, but he's more so in that minus 500 or more range as a favorite. I like Ankalaev a ton over Thiago Santos. I think he outdoes him everywhere at this point. Ultimate question is, how does he get it done? Because unless you're parlaying, you're probably not making a ton of money lining Magomed. I like potentially stoppage. Maybe. I do feel like there could be a chance Ankalaev gets a knockout. It's plus 155. Inside of the distance is kind of covered a bit. It's plus 120. I think they could happen. If it went the full 5, I wouldn't be shocked, but I think Santos is going to get stopped in this matchup. I like Ankalaev for the win. I think he gets it done later, 3, 4, maybe even 5. Do you play over 2.5 at minus 150? That's a maybe touch there, but I definitely am feeling Magomed Ankalaev as a serious lock this weekend, and one that adding into a parlay or propping up might have some good value. Now, the next lock of the night, Azamat Murzakanov. I really like him over at Tafon Chukwi. He is minus 170, Chukwi plus 160. I like Murzakanov straight. Money line it. Minus 170 is great value. Potentially playing him in a parlay, I think, can do you really well. They don't have a full list of props out just yet, at least not on fight odds. Then they're looking at pretty much everything, but I will pull up best fight odds to see. But no, nothing fully out yet, which is unfortunate. We'll go over them more with the weigh-in recap show. I'm kind of leaning TKO. I think over 1.5 at minus 160 could definitely happen, but money line it. Azamat Murzakanov, he beats Tafon Chukwi this Saturday in his UFC debut. One to be excited about. The next one, lock, Alex Pereira over Bruno Silva. I think he's knocking Bruno out. Bruno has been saying, hey, I'm going to stand up with Alex. I'm going to mix it up. I'm trying to knock him out. I find that hard to believe. I think Bruno Silva will shoot for a takedown at some point in the first 3 minutes of the fight. I'm not super impressed with him on the ground. His stand-up game, I see him getting touched up bad by Pereira. Minus 170, best value for Alex Pereira. I think he's a great play. I definitely think he could be a parlay addition, a money line play. Looking at the value, I like him early. I think he gets it done in the first round, round and a half. Under 1.5 is minus 160. I'd rather just money line Pereira. If you look at Pereira wins by KO, the value of that is minus 140. So they got that line already covered up a bit. They're expecting the knockout, as am I. I think he's a money line play. I do think it goes to under 1.5, which is minus 160. I like Alex Pereira a ton. I think he gets the win by knockout. I see Bruno Silva getting destroyed striking. If he looks for takedowns, I don't find him getting a ton of success here. I'm not seeing Bruno Silva's grappling threat as super substantial as he takes on the deadly kickboxer Alex Pereira, who's got 2 wins over the champion Israel Adesanya. Pereira's a guy to keep an eye on, and I think Bruno Silva falls victim to this real prospect in the middleweight division here. Let's keep running up. Next one, Song Yadong over Marlon Moraes. Old man Marlon Moraes. Yadong's minus 240, Moraes plus 220. So yeah, the value isn't fantastic. I have a hard time seeing Marlon Moraes boxing with Song Yadong. His boxing looks way slower than it used to. I think he's going to get touched up on the feet at some point and knocked out. His kicking game is really good. He's not going to bring any wrestling threat to Yadong. I don't see him sitting in there for 3 rounds outstriking Song. He's going to get caught at some point. You look at Song Yadong's style. He's a guy that can go long. I don't see durability issues. I don't see Marlon stopping him. I see explosiveness edge. At this point, even speed edge the Yadong way. Give me Song Yadong win, and I like him by knockout. Looking at the KO prop, it's plus 125. I'm feeling like we're going under 1.5. That's plus 120. And then Song Yadong, minus 240. I like him here. I think he's getting a stoppage in the first round. I could see it in the second as well. I think he's getting Marlon out of there. And at this point, I really think Marlon's in some serious trouble. He's looking for that bounce back win. Don't see him getting it against Song Yadong. The next lock of the night, I'm going Matthew Selmisberger over a prospect that I like a lot. Selmisberger is too experienced as a veteran and has some serious advantages physically, longer reach, taller, decent straight punches. I think Matthew Selmisberger is going to be able to outwork AJ Fletcher probably over the 3 rounds. Maybe he gets the stoppage. It's minus 205. I like Selmisberger, just straight money. As far as props, I'd lean you towards over 1.5 here. It's minus 130 for that. I think that's a good over-under play. Give me Matthew Selmisberger. Do I really want to touch the lines? Him by knockout, minus 105. Decision, plus 340 if AJ Fletcher lasts the full 3. But will he? I'm thinking he might get stopped in the second or third. That's why I like that over 1.5 more so. But give me Selmisberger over AJ Fletcher, plus 195. Fletcher's frame, he's like really muscular, but I feel like he would do his best work down a weight class at 55. I think these dudes at 170 are too big for him. I think he's going to be outmatched in the size department in the majority of his fights at this weight class. Now, the next of the locks of the night, it is a Bellator lock. It is going to be Phil Mr. Wonderful Davis over Julius Anglikas Davis, minus 290. His wrestling will take him home for this fight. I think 3 rounds of control by Phil Davis is about what I expect here. As far as potentially playing a prop on this one, maybe you like fight goes distance, minus 190. You play Davis to win by decision. That's minus 110. Could he get the finish? Yes, I definitely think he could get a TKO. We've seen Davis get finishes in the past, though not a ton in Bellator as of late. Still, he has the capabilities, and Glikas, I think, will be outmatched on the floor, but I'm expecting 3 rounds. Fight goes distance, minus 190, not a bad play. Phil Davis for the win, money line nearing minus 300, not a terrible play. Maybe you parlay him up with some UFC guys. If you're feeling that confidence, I definitely think it's something that could happen. Now, as far as like some of the other Bellator fights, I want to note this. There are locks, right? Roman Falardo, I do think, is going to destroy Kelvin Rainford. But the odds are hideous. Cody Law, similar type situation. Bad odds. And when the odds are as wide as that, to me, I don't want to touch it. There's not a ton to be made to, parlay up a minus 1,000 and a minus 2,000. Just, it seems like a waste. But I do think those are guys that are definitely going to win on the Bellator card. It's just the money to me is not there. As far as another confident pick, I don't want to include him in the locks because I still respect John Salter's experience, but Johnny Eblen really should win against John Salter. I do think at minus 300, he could probably get it done. Maybe if you're looking for a Bellator-only parlay, I'll give you it early. You go Eblen and Davis for 2 locks there, but the value won't be amazing. Still, potential decent play. Overall, we got some good locks for these cards. I do want to jump towards the dog section and give you guys the dog picks of the week because I think we got some pretty damn good ones for both UFC and Bellator. And looking forward to seeing when they cash. Now, the first dog, I feel like Khalil Roundtree. I think he's going to win by KO. He's taking on Carl Roberson, who technically speaking is a superior striker. The more physical specimen is Roundtree. The harder puncher is Roundtree. Maybe even the better leg destroyer with those damn knee stomps that you saw against Bauskas in the last one. Ended the man's knees. I mean, we don't know if he'll be coming back the same ever after those fucking destructive knees. I feel like the knee stomp that Khalil Roundtree has could come into play even against Carl Roberson here. I like Roundtree potentially by knockout. He's a plus 115 dog. Roberson minus 125. If you're looking at the knockout prop, Roundtree is about plus 210. Not a terrible play. Could he be outworked by Roberson over the 3 rounds? Yes, but I'm still picking the Roundtree side, and I do think he is a pretty damn good dog to potentially line up. But he is hot and cold sometimes, taking some bad losses in the past. Next one, Terrence McKinney over Drew Dober, plus 150. McKinney, Dober minus 165. Short notice fight. Yes, this is a huge risk for Terrence McKinney, but he looks like that prospect to keep an eye on. I believe that he is, and I'm going to ride with my guy here. I'll be playing him. I like a money line at plus 150. He's around that range anywhere you go. Plus 140 over at Bet Online. Also, do you want to touch him with a potential prop? I would say be a little wary, but if you go inside distance plus 210, that's the one I like the most. I could see him getting a knockout plus 525 for that, but he does have a good submission game plus 600. Now, is McKinney going to be the guy that taps out Dober? It's not an easy thing to do, especially lately. But Terrence McKinney's looking like that prospect to keep an eye on. Yes, if Dober touches the chin, he could do some damage. He could force the stand-up, get up to his feet, crack Terrence McKinney with big strikes in close range, but I think Terrence McKinney's wrestling chops are there. The striking is off the charts, and his kicking game is damn dangerous. We just haven't seen the kicks yet in the UFC. We saw the grappling against Ziam. You saw the one-punch power in his debut against Frivola, and I think he's going to keep that momentum. I think he beats Dober, and we got 3-0 McKinney as a potential contender in 2022 towards this now, second half coming up when he'll probably fight again, but who knows, depending how quick this one goes. I like McKinney. I like him inside the distance. I think he's a great play. I don't really want to touch the over-unders here, to be 100% honest. I'll rather sit out on that. But I like Terrence McKinney. If you do like over 1.5, it's minus 130. Under 1.5, plus 120. Over 2.5, plus 140. Under 2.5, minus 160. I think it's going under. I think it's going under 2.5 rounds, minus 160. I think it's getting finished inside distance, minus 215. And I like the McKinney side for the win inside that distance. Pretty good dog for me, man. Next one, I'm going Trevin Jones over Javid Basharat. I have not seen what I need to from Javid yet. He's not UFC fighter yet, right? He fought in the Contender Series and looked great. He beat a 16-0 dude, but Oran Kalan, the guy that he just beat, hadn't fought anybody. This is a real test for Javid. Let's see if he can pass the Trevin Jones puzzle. I mean, Trevin Jones is not an easy guy to fight. Plus 130 dog, Javid minus 135. I like Jones for the win. Javid's chin's a bit high. Jones could be the guy to crack that chin and put him out. Let's say you go Trevin Jones knockout plus 450. I like Trevin Jones money line dog plus 130. Potential prop would be that Jones plus 450 tag. I think this is a pretty damn good fight. I do think ends inside distance minus 150. If Javid were to win, I kind of think he would potentially get a submission. The value for that is sitting at plus 350. Just something to note for the people potentially on the opposite side. And then the next dog lock potentially. Cody Brundridge, plus 110 over Dolce Legambula. I am not super impressed with Dolce, as you guys have heard if you saw the breakdowns. I feel like Cody Brundridge, granted, not like, jumping up and down. This guy's the next John Jones, but he's a decent wrestler. He's got solid pressure. I think he can grind on Dolce. Dolce's a strong guy, but he's outmatched in the size department a bit here. He's a smaller guy for the middleweight division. He's just packed with muscle, so he's jacked. I'm not saying small in physique, but small in stature. He's only 5'8". Cody Brundridge will grind the decision. He's plus 120, plus 110 best value. You might find him at plus 120 somewhere, though. Let's see. Brundridge wins by a decision, which is the method I see, plus 240. I think Brundridge's decision is really fair here. I think fight goes distance, plus 110. I don't know, man. I don't see Legambula letting the hands fly and knocking him out. I see Brundridge grinding and wearing on him for 3 rounds. I'm liking the victory for the dog over Dolce Legambula. Difficult last name there. But yeah, Cody Brundridge for the win. Those are the UFC dogs. I'm going to jump over to the Bellator side and let's see what we can find with these Bellator underdogs. All right, so dog number 1, I am going against the Dagestani. I'm going JJ Wilson over Gadzira Banadov. I feel like JJ Wilson has looked fantastic at featherweight. This is a lightweight fight. I think he's going to come in rehydrated, ready to go. He seems like a real prospect. Gadzi has taken losses in the past. I'm picking the Wilson side plus 130, but this is not an easy fight. This is a 60-40 type fight, percentage-wise of confidence. Like, I could see Gadzi winning this fight, especially decision, but I'm leaning the Wilson side to upset him. Looking at playing any of the over-unders, I'm not loving, but I feel like Wilson, straight money line dog play would be my touch here. I don't really love the props either. Wilson getting a submission would be huge. It's plus 450, but that's going to be difficult to do. I could see 3 rounds of competitive work. Fight goes distance, minus 125 for Wilson to win by a decision, plus 350. I like the JJ Wilson side, but personally, I'm going JJ Wilson money line. I like him here over the dangerous Gadzira Banadov, who does train with Khabib Nurmagomedov. So big test for JJ Wilson. Now the next of the dogs, Ashley Dean, Diana Aversagva. I'm going to call this the Hail Mary dog of the week. I'm going to note that straight out the gate because I will say Ashley Dean is not a great fighter. No offense to her. She's 5-6 as a pro, but I think she can beat Diana Aversagva because she definitely has decent skills. And if she can work Aversagva, I mean, Gabriela Gulfin in the last one could have beat Aversagva, really close decision. Ashley Dean's better than her, longer reach. I think her striking is definitely faster too. I think Ashley Dean's gonna upset Aversagva, win decision, plus 625 if you wanted to play that. It's a Hail Mary dog for sure. For fight goes distance, minus 150, over 2.5, minus 175. They don't have all the props out yet, but Aversagva, I am not sold on. Give me Ashley Dean. I like her decision, upset, plus 625 dog. I do think that could be like a Hail Mary dog of the week type play. And this last one is not actually a dog, but we have to note him because he is a dog that has come through pretty much every time he fights. Alex Easy Palise over Jose Augusto. I love Palise. He's not the dog here, but he is the dog. When he's a dog, he's always coming through. So I got to give him the dog section note as a favorite, minus 145. I think he's worth a stab for you guys out there thinking about playing something close money. I'd play Palise potentially. Not going to call him lock, but he's like real close to it, and he has to be mentioned in the dog section because this guy is like the king of the underdogs. The man always comes through as a dog, beats guys when he's not expected to, and I think Alex Palise beats Jose Augusto. Augusto had a great fight versus Rumble. Styles make fights, and let's be honest, he was getting his ass kicked besides landing a chef left hook that wobbled Rumble. Outside of that, he was getting destroyed the entire fight, and then he got brutally knocked out. Let's not be too high on the kid. He had a great performance in loss, but no. Alex Palise for the win. And if he gets it done by a decision, I'll list this decision prop real quick for Alex Palise. Has to be included. Plus 220 for that. So pretty good dogs to potentially play. Wouldn't attack too dog heavy. Some people will definitely be considering playing Adam Borish in the main, but I do believe Mads Burnell is going to beat him by a decision. If the money was closer, I'd consider a play, but I just didn't feel Burnell has shown it just yet. Like, this is a real fight. Adam Borish is a really difficult test, but I feel like Burnell should get it done. Overall, we got some good dogs, some good locks. I want to jump to the pure prop section and talk about some fights that weren't mentioned as we ran through. So the first prop that I like, Alex Caceres and Sodiq Yusuff. I like over 2.5 a ton. It's minus 150. I think that's one that might be worth a stab, guys, because I really feel like this fight's going over the 2.5. If you can parlay that up as well, that'll be nice. Next one, I like Kennedy Mutino. Fight does not go the distance, minus 105. I feel like Mutino's style and Kennedy, they're going to throw down. And I think someone's getting stopped. I think Kennedy's getting stopped, but I'm liking doesn't go the distance. Like, I think Mutino could definitely be knocked out by the 42-year-old Kennedy if he gets reckless. I like this fight. Fight does not go the distance. I expect these guys to bring it, minus 105, especially Kennedy with that bad loss to the Sugar Show. He's going to want to show a little something in this return fight. The next one is Alex Pereira, under 1.5 with Bruno Silva. Let's find the value here. Under 1.5 is minus 160 for that one. I don't think that's terrible either. And I do think the Alex Pereira side is definitely coming out on top. He's one of the locks, as you guys know. Anglicus versus Phil Davis goes distance. I actually don't think that's a terrible play either. The value for it right now sitting at minus 190. I'm expecting Davis to win a decision. And I feel like those distance would be one to potentially touch. And then Burnell Borish over 2.5. This is another good one. Burnell versus Borish over 2.5, minus 190. I think this fight's going a little bit longer here. I think over 2.5 could be a potential toucher, minus 190. It's a maybe play for me. But definitely might have some value. And then Palise Augusto goes distance. It's plus 130. I do think that fight's going the full 3, and I think Palise goes out, wins a decision, as I just said. Plus 130 for Palise Augusto. Overall, we got some fun props, some great locks, some great dogs. Smash that like button if you guys haven't yet. And we got to finish it off with the most exciting segment, the parlays segment of the video. Let's talk purely parlays. I'll start it off just doing UFC parlays, and then at the end, we'll do a crossbreed parlay between Bellator and the UFC. So parlay number 1 that I'm feeling a lot, that I think is reasonably safe, I could say, is Song Yadong, Magomed Ankalaev, and then Mirzakhanov, plus 160 value. I think that might be worth a touch. It's a good 3-fighter play. Also, if you wanted to play Song Ankalaev Selmasburger, you're like, hey, listen, leave me out of Mirzakhanov. I'm not sold yet. Plus 145. If you want to combine the two, plus 288. But we're getting a little crazy. I like, as you guys know, I like about 3-fighter parlays normally. Then if you want to keep like that Mystic Mac energy, right, and keep the guys in, maybe you go Song, Ankalaev, Mirzakhanov, and then you add the over 2.5 if your bookie allows, Caceres, Yusuf. That right there is plus 310. I actually like that more than including Selmasburger in there. So I think that might be one worth a touch. I personally played it with Selmasburger 2 in there. I have the value, actually. Let me see if I can pull this bad boy up. We'll keep running through, and then I'll pull this one up because I do have it already put in the books, and it's some pretty nice plus money. You could also then add Terrence McKinney to like that Hail Mary style play with the over-under. So it'd be Song, Ankalaev, Mirzakhanov, over 2.5, Caceres, Yusuf, Terrence McKinney added in, plus 555. I think that's pretty good if you're like, listen, I want to totally go a different direction. Mirzakhanov, Ankalaev, Pereira, plus 180 is not a bad play. And let's see if I can get my bets up so I can give you guys my personal 16 parlay. So it's going to be Azamat Mirzakhanov, then it's going to be Selmasburger, then it's going to be Ankalaev, Song Yadong, Terrence McKinney, Alex Caceres, and Yusuf goes long here. For whatever reason, they won't let me scroll down on the damn page. But I know the value is about plus 180, I believe. Is it plus 180? Let's see if I can scroll down here. Plus. Damn, they're not giving me no plus, man. Plus, okay, plus 1,390. Plus 180. What am I saying? Plus 1,390. So that's like a real Hail Mary. Just a little bit of a lottery ticket type play that could come big for you guys. Maybe something to touch. But let's like quickly parlay up something on the cross, right? Let's go Ankalaev, Yadong, guys I'm real confident in. And then let's add in Phil Davis, plus 115. You take potentially Yadong out, minus 194. You got Davis, Ankalaev. I think that's pretty damn good. I feel like if you want to add in Eblin, you potentially could, minus 103. If you want Alex Easy Palisi, you're feeling him, plus 156. And like these are some strong confidence picks that you'd potentially be playing. But like the one I like the most in there is Phil Davis. If you want to add in Davis, Yadong, maybe you also want to keep running it. You add a little more juice to the sales and you add Azamat early, plus 240. I think that could be pretty good. Do you want to dog it up, though? Do you want to take underdog action and attack maybe with Terrence McKinney, plus 750? If you have that, I actually like this one a lot. You say, listen, let's just go nuts and let's add in Cody Brundridge, plus 1,600. Like you guys know, I always say it. Keep it 2-3 fighters max. Anything more than that is a Hail Mary lottery ticket. Don't throw anything crazy at it. Play it with a little something. Have a little fun. You definitely could cash big. These huge parlays, once in a blue moon will come through. Maybe this one will. Ankalaev, Davis, Yadong, Mirzakhanov, McKinney, and Brundridge, plus 1,600. Personally, I'd say this take the Brundridge side out. And you'll be a little bit safer at plus 750. I like that a bit more. Overall, I think there are some good potential bets to make on this card. Another episode of this week's best MMA bets. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to smash the hell out of that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and don't forget to share the video. Much love, my people. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.